Dude, Albert will kill us already. 15 minutes in, and he will kill us. It's like the parents being out and your first time home alone.
Seriously, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
The parents are out. We're destroying the apartment.
Yes,
the house.
we're fucking up the podcast.
Woo!
Work for it, you're a baby. So, anything new at Kimono Knives?
Man, I'm super excited because we had that. Abe Shaw had that. Eating Tools had that art exhibition show. Did you see anything about it?
I saw some footage about it.
Yeah. It was in New York, and David Wolke and I had a collaboration knife there. It was, I only teasered it, but through my newsletter, people were able to see the full thing. It was a knife with a fine cast sterling silver handle, but it had an organic structure to it. It was hollow and all, things like that. Looking pretty fancy, and that thing sold. And for a pretty impressive price, so we are very excited about that. So I'm kind of psyched.
That's very nice.
Other than that, business as usual.
Business as usual. I saw some. I was going to ask something about it. You have like was it like a chef knife for regular people now?
Like the production knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm planning to release a batch of those in the fall. So after the batch right now that are customs and knives from my retailers, I'm planning to make a bigger batch of 60 knives, all the same, looking like that, being a little more affordable, and kind of, mixing it up a little. So.
Normal plebs like me can also get our hands on a Kimono knife.
Possibly. I don't know how high the demand will be. But if you're listening and interested, sign up for the newsletter.
I don't know if I even am on your newsletter. I'm on most people's newsletter. And
you're not on mine. I take that very personally.
Well, okay, don't take it personally. You're just an asshole. You keep fucking with me every time I'm not on. So
I love it. You're. I feel like you can take it.
I am. I can give out shots, but I can take shots as well, which is necessary.
True, but Albert is just too nice of a guy, so I'm not fucking with him. And Keith sometimes has that "I'm going to kill you" stare, where I don't know if he really will. So
he's like, what is it? He's like 1.5 meters long. How is he going to kill you?
True, but he might have a gun or something. He's American after all, so.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, he might have a gun or two. Yes. I was surprised about the gun laws in Austria.
In what way? I don't know if I know much about it.
Oh, well, Huber went crazy on it. Like he knows everything about it. So.
Oh yeah, he has some guns. Yeah, he has a bunch. He showed me.
Yeah, of course, guns blazing.
Yeah, I mean, shooting guns is fun. I've only shot guns at the military mandatory military time, but I couldn't say.
Do you guys have mandatory military time?
Yeah, but it's a
Still?
joke. Yeah, it's 6 months.
Okay,
And
well.
you the most you'll learn is to not shoot your own soldier in the back, possibly.
Which is useful.
Yeah, I mean, kind of useful, but we would fall like flies, I think, if it was serious. I don't know why we have that, because there was some discussion about. I mean, we're a neutral country. So I think that's the main thing. We have, I think our military budget is like 1% or under 1%, I think 0.9 or something like that. Whereas countries like the US and Israel or Switzerland have 3% upwards military budget. I think.
Well, isn't the US is like 90% or something, right?
Yeah, probably. But you know what I'm getting at. I mean, countries you would take seriously regarding the military, even small countries like Israel, they have a way higher budget in percentage of their nation's income. So yeah, we are a joke, and we are kind of lazy. I mean, our only defense for being neutral is because we are surrounded by NATO countries, which means that if NATO doesn't attack us, every other country has to go through NATO land, and then we're kind of we're kind of suckers in that way.
Yeah, we're the same, and we're too small to be relevant anyway. So
really, you don't are a NATO member?
We are a NATO member, but I think we're like, what is it? Our country is like, how many people are there in Austria?
9 million.
Oh, okay. We're bigger than you are. Then
how many?
More dense.
How many?
It's 18 million now.
Wow. Okay.
But still, that's like budget-wise, it's nothing.
Yeah, but NATO requires you guys, or as far as I know, they require like minimal standards. So
yeah, it does.
Yeah, so I'm guessing despite bitching about it, you're like a few notches above us.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly. I think so. Yeah, I just looked it up. America has 13.3% in 2023.
Now I'm curious about Switzerland and Israel. I mean, I don't know where I took the 3%.
Israel's about 100% right now, I think. But
yeah.
If people are offended by this shit, then don't listen to this podcast. Military budget percentage.
I've got good feedback for our last podcast.
Yeah, me too. The military. Okay, so Israel is at almost 5% in 2022.
Yeah, so three upwards was kind of reasonable. I mean, the US are an exception, anyways, I guess.
No, Mother Russia. Sorry, budget 2024. They're gonna lie about that anyway.
Yeah, probably.
35%, it says.
Yeah, but you know what that means? Because I've read somewhere, but I don't have any source. But that Russia, the nation's income, I don't know the correct term, but I think nation income makes sense.
Yeah. PPD or something like that.
Yeah. Is pretty much equal or slightly lower than Germany's. And Russia not only is the country bigger in size, but also it has more people. I don't know how many. But it was surprising to me that their nation's income isn't way bigger than Germany's. So I'm thinking
Germany is big as well. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, 80 million or something.
I don't trust when I Google that shit. I just don't know. I would imagine they would say like a ton of bad shit about Russia and then make it seem as if America's doing everything right. That's Google. Nowadays.
Possibly with countries like North Korea, but Russia wasn't that isolated a few years back. So, I mean...
but they're the enemy now.
Yeah, right now. But that's an info from years back. So I'm guessing if someone would lie about that, then you would know it would be corrected. I mean, what do I know? Just talking shit.
The Russian armed forces are the world's 5th largest military force with 1.15 million active duty personnel and close to 2 million.
Fuck yeah! Let's
service.
Let's read some Wikipedia to the listeners.
That's some shit ton of people. Okay, fuck Russia, fuck the US.
Fuck everyone except for Austria.
They're all a bunch of fucking warmongers anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It's. I think war was historically seen a reality of humans always. So
that's truly so.
What's happening in your week, or what was happening so far?
In my week, I was I had a little side job making railing again, but not for the shitty company, obviously, for another company. So some stainless steel railing.
Okay.
Which was, how much did we make? I think about 500 meters.
Fuck.
Yeah, with 2 people. That was fucking. that was a big job. Yeah.
Montage as well.
No, just cutting it up, then welding it, and basically weld it in a way so they can polish it.
Yeah. Okay.
After, so you have to put the welds on pretty firmly and high on top of it.
Yeah.
So they have something to grind away, and then they're gonna like polish it.
But they are
Make it all
grinding.
shiny.
They are grinding inside angles as well. Like
Yes.
fuck, that's a lot
So
of
you
work.
have to. It is, but they have like machines, and it goes to a company that only does that.
Oh, okay.
So, well, I'm not doing that. That's terrible. That's terrible.
How many hours did you spend for those 500 meters?
We were 2 people, and I think it was close to 4 days.
Okay, that's reasonable. That's
We're very good. And no, there's like it took like 2 days to do all the bends and stuff, all the corners.
Yeah.
And then we had like a bunch that was just 6 meters and then 2 plugs in it that they can reassemble it later.
Yeah.
And then just a bunch of those 6 meters. So like if you have 10 of those, you already have 60 meters.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, most straight and some
Exactly.
special.
Yeah.
Did they provide like drawings, or what do you work from?
Yeah. You just get an actual paper drawings with it. Some do it on in 3D and stuff, but it was just this is kind of an old-fashioned company that we did this for.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was old-fashioned. Like even cutting it up with like on an actual band size is old-fashioned these days.
Oh, okay. Is it laser cut these days?
Yeah, most of a lot of companies do like use laser cutting now.
Yeah, makes sense. If you're doing a lot, that makes sense.
Which I also do that with the pipes, with like the tubes of the Revolution. All the tube steel is laser cut. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but you're ordering them from a bigger company, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, but if you're like, 5-employee a construction company, then you wouldn't have a laser cutter in your shop, I guess.
No. But there's like companies over here that are specialized, and it's at a point right now that if you do like the same type of work like all year round, so you would be spending a lot of money at those companies. It's almost at a point where you really have to, like, am I gonna save time and have it like make money that way because we can fabricate it like if you do it well with laser cutting tubes,
yeah.
you don't need to measure anymore. You can just have the serial numbers and stuff just laser cut on there.
Yeah, they
can like laser etch, or how do you call it, on there.
Yeah.
So you basically get like a puzzle.
Yeah,
you can just assemble it. You don't need to measure anymore. You don't need to check it anymore. It's just
it's true.
Tack and weld.
I mean, I never worked in that semi-industrial space. The railings I made as a artistic bladesmith were very small for small buildings. Nothing like 500 meters. So
the old-fashioned ones, which is nice. I like that.
It was fun. I mean, it was fun because everything was made in-house and I was the only craftsman. So I did weld them. I forged the stuff that had to be forged. I painted it, and then I went to the customer and mounted it, and sometimes got a tip and stuff like that, talking to the customer, seeing them happy. It really was a fun job. It didn't pay very well, but
no, that's always. I think it's getting better though, because there's the people, the amount of people that can do stuff like that is dramatically decreasing.
Yeah, everyone could do it, but won't. I see more problem.
Can and will.
Yeah,
can and will. Let's keep with that,
because
everyone can do it, but I mean, it's a. I've heard someone say that the normal jobs, like being a plumber, being like a technician, being like a welder, all that stuff, the prices are going up.
Yeah.
For that, like the wages are going up. It's just because everyone wants to be in e-commerce and everyone wants to be a manager.
Yeah.
And no one wants to get their hands dirty anymore. So
that's the problem. I mean, I'm talking to a lot of young people within family and friends and whatever, and everything I get from them is kind of, I want to make a lot of money with barely any work, and especially I don't want to get dirty. I don't want to sweat at work and don't want to get dirty.
And it's those fucking influencers online and shit, and they make it seem like you can just like snap your fingers and you'll get rich, I'll tell you now, there is not a way of making money in the world that doesn't, like a fair way of making money in the world that doesn't require hard work.
Yeah, even if you're drop shipping and e-commerce thingy, I think
you think that's easy?
No, I think even there you have to put the hours in to be successful, even if you're doing that.
Exactly, and you're competing with like half of the population right now because everyone is doing it or wanting to do it. So you have to be very you just have to keep going. I think that's the key to everything. Because, like, if some people will drop out if they fail once, some will drop out if they fail twice, and you just need to keep going.
Yeah,
and then you can do anything, in my modest opinion.
Most anything. Now I'm curious because where do you work out of? Have you your own shop or is it?
I have like I used to do it from home. I had like a big shed and everything with enough room to weld stuff for other people.
Yeah.
And then that was getting a bit too small when I started DIY Europe, because I just needed like racks and everything to put all the materials. And then I got lucky with a shop near my house, which is like 500 meters or maybe a kilometer away.
Okay.
From my house. That's where I'm now, and I also built like a small office there as well to do some 3D CAD work and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I'm still there now.
Okay, so that's where you made the 500-meter railing out of as well.
Well, that was actually, I have like a friend nearby that is also a welder and has the same type of shop like me, only it's not half of it is reserved for DIY Europe. So we did it over there, but I could do it here. Yeah, I could.
Okay. Now
it's just more convenient there.
And one thing I'm curious about also is how does since you're self-employed and working for someone else, a contractor, so to say, how is it with in regards to liability and all that? I mean, if something doesn't fit, for example, or isn't up to standard or something like that.
Yeah, so basically what happens is this was his job. So either it's the same either way. So he took on the job, so it's on his company, and he just hires me to help him.
Okay.
If it was my customer, I would be the one that's liable. Only I put the liability for the work that he does on his company.
Okay. But but what is happening if you're provided with a wrong measurement, for example? I mean, wrong plans, so to say, you're working off, for example. That's not.
Then that's not our fault.
Okay.
So if it's not our fault, then and we can prove that, then it'll just go back to the company. So basically, what we're doing, if you're self-employed like me now, you're basically most of the time your work. I also have some other stuff going on, but most of the time you're working for bigger construction companies or bigger steel companies or bigger piping companies or whatever.
Yeah, I assume
and
so,
they just don't. So they just don't have the manpower, and they'll just get people like me on board to help or to take out, to do pieces of one big job or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's most of it. Now I have my own customers in some areas.
Yeah.
But it's all pretty locally. But most of the people that are like self-employed, just a one man army, basically, those are they work for the bigger steel companies. So the actual liability if something really goes wrong is with the big company.
Yeah, in the first place, but they will come to you if they think you're
exactly. Yes. Yep.
Have you had any issues in those like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, maybe then you are a better welder than I assumed.
Oh, Lord. Why would you assume that I am not a good welder? I've said it a million times. I will do a weld-off against any one of you plebs.
Oh, you would win against me, I'm sure.
A weld-off, you know what that is?
Yeah, I guess.
I was the head of the welding team at the company that taught me everything, basically.
Yeah.
And I think I told this story before. And I was learning these young guys to weld and everything. And I always get like a competition vibe going, you know? So if someone just lay down some pretty neat welds, I would just like, oh, that's fucking awesome and shit, you know? To really try to inspire them through competition to get better,
yeah,
you know? Also against each other. So this one guy, he was like, his dad was at a company that our company did business with, and he came to us and he was like, my son, school wouldn't take him anymore because basically he was trouble and everything. And
okay.
At school they said like, you should go work for some production company because you can't do jack shit, you know?
Yeah.
And he had trouble studying and the real problem kid. That's what they said. So I was like, okay, well, try him out for a week, and then if it's something, then he can stay, and if it's not something, then I'll just be honest, and he'll have to leave. Turns out this fucker is talented like crazy. Like it, no joke. Within a week, I was like, this kid is staying here. Here's a contract for the rest of your life. You just stay here. Whatever you do, stay here. You know. And it was just the boring parts for him. So studying and all the materials,
he is a knife
and
maker.
the heat. Well, he just didn't want it. He just wanted to weld, and he looked at Instagram and he saw all those people making those fancy welds that all shiny and shit, and he just wanted that. And I was like, okay, then fucking go for it.
No, man, I was joking with the knife maker, but he's a craftsman. I know so many craftspersons who are like that.
He can't fucking calculate for shit. He's bad at math, at everything, but welding just out of this world.
Yeah.
So this guy he was just always when he came up, like he came to get me. I was in the office or something, and he came to get me. He had a smile on his face from ear to ear. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be good, you know. And then. Obviously, so I go look at the welds, and in my mind I was like, "Holy shit, this guy's better than me."
Yeah, but you can't tell him.
Of course. So I looked at it. I was like, "That's trash. Do it again." And he was like, "Do you want to do a weld off, bro?" I was like, "A what?" He wanted to do a weld off. So basically, that's something it was new at the time for me. That's something like you both post your welds on some page on Instagram, and then the comment section is gonna decide.
Oh my God.
I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Oh, Lord.
Did you do it, or did you really not do it?
No, of course not.
Oh my God.
That fucker was bad.
Why?
It was back in the day. I would do it right like now, but that was not my Instagram days.
If I was him, I would have fucked with you so much.
I
would
Lord.
have every day. I would have been on your nerves.
I would literally stay evenings to practice when everyone was gone, just so I could keep up with the young folks, you know.
Yeah.
Just so because you can't if you're not better than them, you can't.
Earn their respect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna lose that very fast if you can't do it yourself.
But what was it about him? Do you know? I mean, was it just?
I think it had something to do with with some form of autism.
Okay.
Because he was just that like. We tried like to have him assemble stuff, and he just couldn't. He couldn't use a fucking tape measure. It was just not in a disrespecting type way, but he was just not that guy. He just wanted people needed to assemble stuff for him, so he just tack it, and he only wanted to do the welding. And that was just we basically, because we got a few more of those guys, and we basically changed the entire structure of the company, because now we just looked for people that was also easier to get. People that only wanted to how'd you say, to construct
stupidly
tech together.
Yeah.
And people that just did the welding.
Yeah.
And then we also had like a system in place that they would check each other. So the welder, I just told them, the welders, those weren't my people. I told them, if you decide to put a weld on that, it's yours. So if the measurements are not good and you welded it, it's yours. I don't care who built it. If you put welds on it, it's yours. So you fix it. If it's not straight, if it's crooked, I don't care. If you weld it, check it beforehand.
Okay.
After, it's yours, and then you create like a system. They will like check on each other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good.
Very nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder how he found his talent, because TIG welding is not like every school has it. So
no, it's not. And basically, I think it's always funny that fucking schools tell them they're worth nothing, basically. And I believe he still works for the company. He's their best welder now.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
After I left, he became the best welder there.
Of course. I mean, that comes without question. When do you get paid if you're contracting for a bigger company? Is that
always too late? It's
like
just
1
terrible.
month? Or?
The really big companies now, they even go as far as 90 days.
But do you allow them, or is it just business practice, or
you'll pay now, or I'll go in your company with a grinder and disassemble everything I will, as I'm not doing that. It's insane. What those big companies do to each other, I don't care much about that, but not like if someone just worked for himself, you're not gonna I think, in my opinion, 14 days is the max. I allow 30 days, but I think 14 days is fair.
I'm asking that question because I had a CNC guy in my industrial area. It was a neighbor of mine, very nice guy and very talented as well. He we visited each other for a coffee and things like that. He was working alone as well, so we were company for each other as long as he was there. And he was telling me all kinds of shit, in the CNC business. And he was telling me stories about payments. For example, when he got a big contract, he was buying stainless steel raw material, like round bars or whatever, for, let's say, 40k euros up front, going in depth with that because he didn't have it cash. Then he would have like 1 month time to build the things he was contracted for. And then the payment goal was 1 month after delivery. So the guy took debt, 40k, then worked 1 month, and then had to wait 1 month on the money. And I told him, well, I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't allow that. And he said, they don't give a fuck. They would just go to the next guy, and you're out of business because it's so common in that business branch of CNC machining and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I would just not allow that. I'm never gonna. I did that like way in the beginning. I fell for that trap, and I'm never doing it again. So whenever I'm taking on a bigger job like that's with a lot of money goes around in it, I'll just 30% upfront.
Yeah, I mean, I say the same
upfront,
thing.
no questions asked. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, you can go to someone else. Don't care. And whenever you say that, you actually have to be prepared to say. To really fuck off when you say that.
That's the problem, because the guy was with 600k in debt already. The CNC machines, he told me the prices of those things. He had 3, I guess, and fourth one that wasn't working.
I always tell people, like, if you do that, then you're like do you know what a yo-yo is?
Yeah, the
the play thingy? Yeah. That's what you are. And the guy that's supposed to pay you is the one that's playing you like a yo-yo. He's you're like a puppet for him.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't allow that.
No, I'm totally with you. I wouldn't go into that business if I knew that was a fact, or I would try to change it like you did. But I just had to tell the story, and that's why I asked you when you're getting paid, because I found that so weird. I couldn't sleep, dude.
No.
My whole company isn't worth, like the machines in it isn't worth 40K. No. It isn't. And he just went into debt for that amount just for stainless steel raw material, and waiting 2 months to get it.
That's just terrible, right?
Yeah, terrible.
And it's also, we have to just go back to a point where, it's not a weird thing. Like, I've had it with the companies I was at. I had it with the balcony company, and people were like, "But we're a legit company. We'll pay." I was like, "Yeah, okay, then do it now, because we're not starting. If you don't pay up front, we're just not doing it." And if everyone just says that, it will turn around really quickly.
I get it. That's an idealistic view, and I'm very how do you say it? I'm the kind of guy who thinks like that as well. But I think, I don't know. I think that's. He also told me, like, how do you say call Skonto? Is it in German? But how do you call those 2 or 3% that you take off an invoice if you pay cash, or if you pay
fast?
Yeah, you can take a little off the invoice.
I don't know the name for it, but
yeah, there is a name for it, but the listener will know. He was saying, if you don't give them that, even though you priced it in upfront, because they insist on that, if you don't give them that, they won't buy. So he was calculating it in to his base price to pull it off and still get what he initially wanted. But he said they are so stupid that they insist on having those 2 or 3% taken off the invoice, that they don't care if the product itself got more expensive beforehand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was pricing it in, and he said, if you just tell them, look, my price is what it is. I can't give you those 2 or 3%, but I'm doing it as cheap as I can. They just will go to the next guy because they are not getting those minus 2 or 3%, just because it's not on the invoice. It's so stupid.
Yeah. I can't. It's the audacity, basically, of these people. It's just, I can't deal with that. I just,
big companies.
Go to someone else. Yeah. Well, I'd rather walk away and don't have the job, even if I have, I'm in that mindset now. And I know it's not easy for everyone, but I just go away, go find someone else.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm with you if I'm not in debt, but he had a house, he has kids,
it's terrible.
And a lot of debt, and I think then you're thinking twice if you fuck with your,
but then I think, if you go in debt, you're already $600,000 in debt. What are you gonna do? Go another 40 for 2 months in debt?
Yeah, he did more? That. Yeah. I mean, he
Yeah.
was going to the bank for those bigger contracts, buying stainless steel and asking for more debt, essentially, for 40K more. And he had to go to the bank every time he did that. And it's a crazy world. I mean, his company essentially was as big as mine in the sense of employees. His wife worked there sometimes as a 20 hours a week or something. So he was 1.5 worker compared to my company being 1 worker. But I'm working out of no debt at all, and he was 600 plus euros in, and I'm thinking, God damn it, I couldn't sleep. It's crazy.
No, it's insane, and I would never do that. I would I know why it happens, and I know some people get out of it, but that's a hard. How do you even get out of that? $600,000 on a one-man show.
Over time, if he has enough contracts and the business doesn't go away, it's not a problem. I mean, I saw his margin, his
it's ginormous.
Yeah, it's okay, but just the risk of maybe in 5 years not having any business anymore for whatever reason would be just too high for me. But I think if everything works out, it works out. That it's not like he's stupid. He's a smart guy. But
of course,
it's nerve-wracking.
It is.
Yeah. Did you have to, invest anything with the company you wanted to take over? Or?
Yeah, there was some money. Yeah, but I could take it on. How do you say that? My house is worth way more than my mortgage is.
Yeah.
So I could use that money to almost finance everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it would have been a good deal.
Too bad they fucked you over.
Nah, too bad I let them fuck me over.
True.
That's the way I look at it now.
I like that. I mean, you're taking responsibility for that.
Yeah, well, you have to, because if not, it's gonna happen again.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are people who would find the fault at everyone else except for them. So
yeah, but that's not helpful, you know. To me, I just think that's you're never getting anywhere if you don't take accountability for the fuck up.
No.
So you don't learn from it. If you think it's someone else's fault, then
yeah, it's true.
You're not getting better.
Ah, fuck.
I should be an influencer or something. I say all the right things all the time.
Yeah, you're beautiful as well. I mean,
I have everything. Damn it.
Maybe take Martin Huber as your girlfriend.
Oh,
you know,
he has the long hair,
and he's big and curvy and blonde.
Yeah. Oh Lord. This is turning into a dirty podcast. And you know that always when you say something like that, I have a very like my mind always pictures it. So I just did that. Thank you for that. Never gonna get rid of that thought. Jesus.
I could go into more detail, but I think
no. Let's leave that for the after show.
Oh,
this is one big after show.
Totally.
So you never have employees or people helping you?
No. And I thought about it so much, but after talking to, I mean, mainly Martin Huber, to be honest, and Tobias Hankler, and they are not talking bad about their employees. So don't get me wrong. I don't want to, act like that's the problem. But I think it's just not for me, because I mean, for one, I think at a personal level, I wouldn't be a good boss. So I
can imagine you being a horrible boss. Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. No. Honestly, my last boss, for example, he wasn't very educated and he wasn't a good blacksmith. But at the same time, he was letting me do a lot of stuff and take responsibility and, allowing me to take responsibility. And that was good, not only for me, but for the company as well. But I think if I was the boss, I could never do that, leave the kind of a control freak.
Why? I think that's partly or mainly also the reason why your business is successful. It's because you take responsibility for every freaking knife that comes out of your shop, and you are doing every step of it. Now, if you outsource that to an employee, then you would have to make sure that he is doing it by your standards, which is, I think in knife making, that's hard to do.
I mean, I think, for me, you're right that it works that way. But I think still, since Tobias and Martin can do it that way, and I think they do a good job that way, it would potentially work, or it could potentially work if so. I'm thinking still I'm the problem here in that relationship. But the thing that brought me much rather away from the thought of having an employee was that I thought I would have less time in the shop and more time in, like office work, managing employees and stuff like that, managing salaries and the accounting and all that. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I would really, what would be the benefit of an employee? It should be at least at the financial side. So, and I don't think
you only hire people for one of two reasons, and that is he's either making you money or he's saving you time,
which equals itself out, really. I mean, time is money in a business context, I would say.
Yes. Well, yeah. Well, it depends, because if he's allowing time for you to like, for example, you want to get into Access. This is a terrible example, but it doesn't matter. It explains it well. You want to get into axe making, but you'll need time to learn that,
or
to get into that. So you'll get an employee that can make the handles for you just as good as you can, basically.
Yeah.
So then you'll get him on. You'll have free time to learn to do axes, and then you can scale up because Cabone can make axes now, and he can do the same again. You know, that's the time thing. That it's not he's not like making you money, but he's allowing you to start something else or giving you time to dive into other things.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the same. Time and money is the same in the context. Your example is perfectly valuable or legitimate is the better word. But I'm thinking, you know, it gives me the time to be able to afford spending the time on something that doesn't bring me any income. So at the end of the day, it's always the same. Time money and income is really the same as a business in a business context. But anyways, yeah, you're right. But I don't think an employee. I mean, possibly he could do that down the line for me, but I don't know how long would be the education. Then you have the bureaucratic side of things in Austria.
It should really. It's more like it's almost exactly. It's like an apprentice type thing.
Yeah.
You take like a very young person, and then I don't want to assume genders. A young person, and then you'll.
Matt, what's going on? Are you sick?
Yeah. I was being sarcastic, and then you'll have to learn it. Teach him everything.
Yeah.
So that's actually costing you time.
Exactly, but
you'd have to look at that as in an investing. And then when you've learned him how to make knives like you can, and what in the world is stopping him from making his own?
That is actually a problem. I mean, I think there are people who are absolutely not motivated to get self-employed no matter what. They just want a secure job and they just want to work. And if you find those kind of people, that's great for you as an employer. But I think the apprentice comparison is not quite there, because in Austria, if you have an apprentice, they are relatively cheap for a company. But since bladesmithing is not a job that you can have an apprenticeship for, your employee will be relatively expensive, because you have to pay them minimum wages at least, and in Austria that's quite a lot already. So I'm just saying it's so expensive. Then the risk you are plotting with them being more or less educated on the topic, and then maybe getting self-employed themselves, or just going away for whatever reason. So and I just thought a lot about it, and I came to the conclusion that I will never have an employee.
Okay, well, yeah.
I'm super happy working alone. So on a social side, that's perfect for me also.
Yeah,
it's not like I have friends. They could do home office, and they drive into their office to work with other people, because they're so. They're missing socializing and all that. I'm absolutely not that person. So
no, I would be exactly the same. I don't have to socialize. At all.
I wouldn't say at all, at least, but not to that extent. I mean, I enjoy seeing like all the guys like Martin for when I see them, in a twice a year or whatever. But yeah, I don't have to see him every day. That son of a bitch.
No. That ugly motherfucker.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Isn't it nice that you can do that, like in a public space, and they can't do anything about it?
I wonder if he ever listens to that.
He's a big old gay Viking.
Oh, fuck. Imagine you're in a village and he comes up on the shore, you know he's gay.
Yeah, with the fucking axe and the sword in his hand.
Yeah, but him being gay is more scary than for you.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yes. Oh, shit. Yeah, that would be horrible.
Yes.
Especially because I'm so handsome. he would go for me any day. Shit.
I will throw you his way and then run.
Yeah.
Bitch, take the Dutch guy. Oh, perfect.
Okay, what if I snap my fingers?
Okay.
And it'll make you forget that you were ever gay.
What the fuck? Matt?
Well?
Yeah?
Yeah, well?
I feel so attracted to women all of a sudden.
See, so it worked.
What was
Damn
that?
it, you're not giving the right response, for fuck's sake.
Well, what's the right response? I don't know that.
Yeah, I was never gay, and then I would just say like, so it worked, and then you can have like a whole 15-minute thing where you say, but I wasn't gay, you can't do that. And I saw someone doing that. I've been doing that to come on, but fucking failed again.
Yeah, I'm too stupid to fall for that. That's kind of
too smart.
Yeah, smart. I don't know. I wouldn't say so. I just was absolutely confused right now, and I would say I was too stupid to fall for it.
I just looked at the reel before we went on here to make sure I said the exact same words, and you just gave so you fucked it up. Thanks.
I mean, for me, I gave the perfect response because
that was okay.
I fucked you.
God, there's a lot of man fucking in this episode. Holy shit!
It's Martin Huber's fault for sure.
It is. Big gay man.
Is Baltic Blades drunk already? We're barely talking any German today. That's a problem.
Oh, is he drinking every time? Oh, yeah, he said that, right?
Yeah. For every German word we say, he will be drinking.
Schweinhund.
Okay, perfect. He's drunk. He doesn't need more than one.
I think so. He's always given us feedback on every episode, which is great.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he talks a bit much, but
he's kind of quick with the talking. But we send each other some voice messages now and then, and philosophizing over almost anything. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Share some insights about your philosophizing with Baltic Blades.
I don't know. We talked about everything. I mean, knife making. We talked a lot about. I don't know how he calls it, but there is. He talked about it on the last podcast, but it's not patchwork, but something else. Like he had a name for it. I forgot it, but I challenged his views on that because I'm a stubborn son of a bitch, and if I'm convinced of something,
you really
then
are.
then you can go fuck yourself. So
I'm so glad that you always agree with everything I say.
Almost. I mean,
you never challenge me on anything.
Oh,
you did start the podcast with challenging my view on America versus Europe.
See, there's the first example, and I think if I would think about it, I could think of many things.
Okay, well, go ahead. It worked. The last podcast we were on together, so.
Yeah. Don't put me on the spot like that.
Yes,
I won't come up with anything.
You fucked up my joke, so that's 15 minutes you have to fill now.
Are you mad right now?
15 minutes of you saying, but I wasn't gay. And I was like, I see, so it worked.
Fuck. That would be school time all over again.
Mm-hmm. It would be so much fun. And I promised Noah, shout out to Noah Bloomberg. He's my new friend.
Okay.
I promised him to do that to you, and it didn't work.
Do I know him?
Damn it. He's one of the hosts of the Hustle and Grind podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then I listened to him.
Were you ever on that?
No.
Were.
I haven't.
What?
No, never. But they are.
You've never been on the Hustle and Grind podcast?
They are great at conversations. They are very quick and good questions. So.
Why the fuck? Noah, make it happen.
Yeah, I think they say it in some comments, because I commented on the last podcast you and Martin were on. And they said they will have to have me on.
Okay, sir. So they're using me to get you?
Yeah. That's how it works. They use the
I was wondering why they invited me, but now I see.
They use the secondary pitch to get to the main pitch.
They wanted me to get Trollsky first, but then that failed. So I had to get like the second best Europe extraordinary person.
Putting me right after Trollsky is a compliment.
No, I was talking about Huber.
Fuck you.
I was talking about Huber.
You can't compare Huber to Trollsky. Although he does YouTube right now, so maybe you can. Yeah, he has some good numbers.
Yes, he has. And I like watching. I know I don't watch YouTube a lot, but I like his content very much.
His humor is nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
but it's so much work. I mean, yeah.
Did you ever do YouTube?
No, I'm just uploading the shorts for my newsletter. So I have a link for the newsletter. So I'm uploading those. I've done a few things, but always just to have a link for a video and upload it somewhere, and use the link.
Makes sense.
But not active YouTube. But I think, I mean, if some new knife makers are listening to that, I've talked. I don't know who I talked to. Maybe Baltic Blades. Actually, sorry. I think if you're getting into social media and trying to grow your following at any platform, I think YouTube is the way to go right now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're dedicated and if you stick to it, you have the highest chance of success. Whereas with Instagram, for example, I think there are ways to still reach an audience, and I'm lazy about it. But there have been some people. Do you know Riley Kirkpatrick?
Yes.
Yeah. He was getting a lot of followers very quickly, but his content was very interesting and he was very consistent with it. But there are some other ways. A German cooking guy I know who had obviously a plan and stick to it. So you can do it with Instagram as well. But I'm thinking with YouTube you have way higher potential to be successful.
Right. Yeah, I think the audience is how do I say that? People really look for YouTube rather than Instagram. You stumble over a lot of people,
Yeah, I think someone recently said that, so that's not my opinion, but it's since YouTube gets shown in Google search results and Instagram doesn't really. I think
that makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, and that's also seemingly the reason for YouTube content being more relevant over a longer period of time. So there are some YouTube videos that are watched like 1,000 times a day, but they're 10 years old. If it's content that gets searched a lot, then whereas 1,000 times a day, 1,000 views a day is a lot in Instagram standards, for me at least, right?
Yeah. You're on how many followers on Instagram?
I think 23K.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're not active, like you could do more, you feel?
I think if I was dedicated behind producing content and being creative about it, of course. I mean, I see people being creative with it and getting good numbers. Whoa, what was that?
Sorry, yeah, that was me. Fuck, I dropped something. But yeah, that's is that something that you would want to do in the future?
Absolutely not.
No, but you could. I think you could really grow it like really fast because you're already like Insta famous and stuff without having the amount of followers. That I think you're more famous in the knife world than most people are with your amount of followers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a bubble. It's a niche, anyways.
It is a very niche, very niche.
It's only kitchen knives to begin with, because I mean there are hunting knives, straight razors, folding knives, and neither of those niches have a clue about me nor many kitchen knife makers have a clue about them, so it's super closed off in a way.
Niche in a niche.
Yeah, totally. There are some crossovers. I don't know. Quesenberry comes to mind because he's very connected with Mareko Mamasi and all that. But Mike Quesenberry, do you know him? His knives?
No.
Is super high end, mosaic Damascus things. But he makes folders, hunting knives mainly. But I actually don't know if he made kitchen knives. But for some reason, I feel like in the kitchen knife maker scene, he's well known for some reason. But there are others that are barely known, making just hunting knives or folding knives.
Yeah. Talking about Mareko, I saw him posting something about this type of knife. I've never seen that before. It is like it's like a folder, but then 3 ways. Did you see that?
No. Was it a
By
story?
Any chance? I think it was a story.
Fuck,
yeah,
it
was. Yeah. I think it's maybe it's there still, but it's like a handle that folds in like the y-axis and then the other axis.
No, I've seen that.
Knife.
He's I don't know which country exactly. I mean, I think he's an Iranian guy. He makes some X-ray style knives. Lin Ray, the guy that makes those all steel.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's an Iranian guy, and he makes a lot of knives inspired by X-ray knives, but he's very creative on his own as well. I think you mean that it was kind of pipe-like looking, the handle.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
very creative.
I was like, what the fuck is that? I had to look at it like 3 times how that actually works.
Yeah.
And once you see it, it's pretty like basic. But I was like, wow,
good idea.
I've never seen that before. I don't even know if he came up with it, but it was just I was like, wow.
I don't know either, but I
could know a few people that should get into that.
Yeah, I mean, I found the idea very creative. It's just out of the box thinking, and I had to think a long time for if it would wobble or not.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it would be stiff, actually.
I think so too. Especially because when you have both sides down, then and you'll use that as the handle, it'll go nowhere. Yeah. It can't.
No, it's very smart. Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah. It kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh fuck, that's a great idea.
Yeah. No, there are some guys like that. Very creative. I mean, do you know the SSK knives? I think he's an Australian guy, and he also makes those all steel knives, but very slick designs because there is no forging surface. I don't know if he even forges them. I don't know how he makes them, but it's an all metal knife, but with a handle that looks.
Is it SS knives?
SSK.
Oh. No,
SSK knives, and the handle is closed. It has the shape of a normal wooden Western handle, so it's curved and all that, but it's hollow on the inside. You can't see the hollow, like with my forged knives. He just, I think he TIG welds them. I don't know what he does, but it's some magic, and I know it's hollow because of the weight. His knives are normal sized, weighing 200 grams, with an all steel handle that's preposterous.
I'm like on Instagram. I'm only looking at knives of people that try to recreate the original one. I think I don't see the original one.
Wait, or is it SKK? SKK. Sorry, I'm sorry. SKK knives. Fuck, and they're super lightweight. They're and you see the shapes. They must be hollow. If you think about the weight.
The weight.
Yeah, considering the weight.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does he do that? I could do that. I could make that out of plate, like small plates and stuff.
Yeah.
I could do that, but that's like the amount of work that is. That's insane. If he does it like that, then...
Yeah, but imagine it doing any other way. I mean, if you had to forge this, that would be crazy. How would you get it hollow?
And it would be way too... No, you can't. So... You think he? I'm just looking at it right now, trying to
wrap my head.
Mark.
I
think there's a weld there.
Yeah. I think he has to weld them because there is no other way to get it hollow. and still have those
but
kind of shapes.
I think I see a weld in the. Most definitely, he welds the knife. Yeah, you can see it in the texture when he's because it's all shiny, and then at the I don't even know how like where the knife crosses over into the handle.
Yeah, the transition. Yeah,
you can see. I think that's some very good polishing, and yeah, I think he welds it right there.
Yeah, possibly. But anyways, whatever he does some magic, because to come up with that idea and to build them like that and have him looking like
that's
that,
just insane.
Yeah, super creative guy. I mean, he sent in one knife for the art show as well, because he does some ridiculously nice stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, but he must be a TIG welder. Now that I look at his account, he has a bike frame laying there, and bike frames aren't welded up by people like me. So,
yes, I could make you a handle like that. Come on.
Yeah, but it's not original anymore.
No, fuck. We need to try something else. Oh, he's definitely a TIG welder. Oh no, that's not TIG welding.
Oh, is he soldering?
That is soldering.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he does that with an...
No. You can't solder and hide the seams. You will always see them. They're a different material.
They are, but what if you use silver?
No, I think...
You still see that.
I think you still see it after use, at least. I mean, if you have some acidity...
I agree.
Acidic food.
Yep.
I think you will see them.
You're right.
I mean, even though he uses stainless steel, but even stainless steel... stainless steel is only stainless because it has chrome oxides on the surface, so you will still see it.
But go ahead. If you look at the rest of his the bike work, he has some more of that, where you actually look at the front axis and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you'll see that he's silver shouldering it, like I said.
yeah, but you can see it at the bike as well, right?
Yeah, but then they're gold. These ones are just silver.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe he does it like that.
Oh, Lord, that would be amazing.
Anyways, he's very creative and very smart about it.
Very creative.
Because the idea is really what counts, not even... I mean, the idea and the execution, of course, but...
Australia.
Yeah, Australia has a high density of good knife makers, considering how little people there are.
Big country.
Yep. Yeah, but not many people.
Not many people.
A few more than the Netherlands, I learned today.
A few more, yeah.
I think there are 23 or 24 million, so...
Look at you spitting facts. How do you know all that?
I just pulled it out of my ass and feel lucky with the numbers. It's just gambling. I don't know anything.
No. My cigar is failing on me.
Oh, I heard you're starting to smoke cigars?
Mm-hmm. Only one podcasting and drinking whiskey.
Oh, fuck, I'd love to smoke a cigar, but I'm in our bedroom right now, so that would be...
This is one of the reasons why I don't podcast at home anymore.
Yeah, I get it.
Time-wise, it would be better to do it at home and everything, but I just want to get out. I need to smoke while I podcast.
I love a good cigar.
Same.
I've been smoking them, I think, since I was 13 or 14, so...
Oh, really? And you don't smoke cigarettes?
Huh?
You don't smoke cigarettes?
No, I don't. No. I don't even consider smoking cigars smoking, because that's a weird...
Yeah, that's the problem with me.
No, but...
Because I...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but because you're not pulling them, like, we call that pulling them over your lungs.
Yeah.
You know,
inhaling.
But I do that with like portions of the cigar.
Oh, okay.
Because I am a smoker, and it's just every time, like sometimes I kind of forget that I'm smoking a cigar, and then I just take a full hit and breathe it in, and I'm just dying.
yeah. When you take a full hit, then you're dying. Especially if you smoke something from Nicaragua or something like that. That's very heavy.
Lord. Yeah.
Dude, I've smoked cigars on an empty stomach where I got dizzy and then had to take a big dump because when you're almost collapsing, like how does it
I know what you mean.
Some can be heavy.
Like do you smoke while knife making?
No. I mean, I smoke occasionally, and that's where I draw the line to general like smoking cigarettes. that's where I make the difference, because I'm always saying to my friends, if there's not an opportunity, I've had times where I didn't smoke a cigar for half a year, and I'm saying to my friends, show me one smoker of cigarettes who can do that. I'm not addicted to it. It's enjoyment,
right.
like chocolate or wine or something like that, but not an addiction. And that's why I'm saying it's not smoking, but it's a stupid opinion. I mean, it's just I'm saying it, but no, I'm like gifting myself a cigar after every batch, so I'm smoking then in the shop after I send the knives out.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my a gift for myself.
Yes, very good. And that's like good cigars, like expensive cigars?
They don't necessarily need to be expensive, but
Nah, but you know what?
They're no, handmade and like, like good cigars. And then in vacation times I escalate. I mean, vacation time I smoke one every day.
Do you drink?
Huh?
Do you drink?
Like in vacation times?
Or in general, just I'm kind of asking like your drinking habits.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally. Like I've had a beer right now.
Yeah. Okay, so beer. But when you're smoking, do you like whiskey or stuff like that?
It depends. I mean, if I'm going to sleep right after, then and I'm smoking alone, then I'm just enjoying the cigar. I like to drink the Red Bull Coke or vanilla Coke to it. That might be odd to some, but I like that.
Yeah, that is very strange. Yes.
No, but I like that. But if I'm in company, then a good whiskey or a good cocktail, then to the cigar. That's
every time I think you're getting like manly, and then you say stuff like addicted to chocolate and fucking cocktails and shit.
No, I'm like, yeah, chocolate was the what would your comparison of being something that you enjoy but are not addicted to?
Like a good cheese and wine stuff that I could get into with chocolate. It's very that's because I could not even begin to imagine being like half addicted to chocolate or something like that.
It was the best comparison.
No, I don't like chocolate, so I can't wrap my head around people that can't stay away from chocolate.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I like chocolate, but I don't eat it every day
Especially
either. It was just...
No.
Fuck. No, I'm drinking only Scotch, peated, heavily peated.
Yes.
Is that manly enough?
Yep, that's good.
No, I have some Scotch as well at home, but
yeah, I think I would imagine you have that.
A friend of mine told me how to drink it, and I didn't like it for a long time. And then,
of course not.
Yeah, then he educated me on how to drink it, because I was of the opinion you drink it like schnapps, like Xing it.
Oh Lord!
Yeah. I was stupid.
That's one of the most Austrian things I've heard in this podcast. Really, and because that first sip, that's why you have to do the entire thing beforehand. You know, you have to smell it. You have to like gently start and get your throat to.
Yeah.
How do you say that? Accept it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think how he got me over is telling me just very little sips and keeping it in your mouth until it tastes good, and that works.
Exactly. The burn. You need to have that burn in your mouth and not in your throat.
Yeah.
See, we're educating people on everything on this podcast.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's why people coming to WFI Europe, right?
Yes, exactly. Is it like too early to call you the official substitute? Or is this the appropriate time?
No,
to give you that title.
No, I don't know. I don't like titles. That makes it too serious.
I didn't ask if you like it or not. I was just
no, it's not appropriate either.
Why not? Your Honor every time, and we could text you like the same day, and you'll be on that night.
Yeah, it's a problem though, because then I might take it serious, and then it's no fun anymore. So.
Don't. We're just gonna call you the substitute. Like, how many people could say they have Kimon as a substitute?
Also, the substitute teachers were always the cool ones. So
exactly.
Yeah.
This,
and we're teaching right now.
Yeah,
so
exactly, and it's always a fun conversation.
Yeah, I'm just a substitute. Didn't.
The substitute.
Perfect.
What are you doing next week? Because I've heard that next week Keith is also not going to be there.
What is happening? What is happening with that lazy man?
Lazy fucker. He's in Scotland actually.
Yeah, I've heard that.
He's on like a mini vacation type thing.
But I thought only 1 week. So
2 weeks, he said.
Fuck.
Is he lying to us and just taking off an extra week? Yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah, that would fit him.
Yeah, that would fit him.
What
very
excuse does Albert have? I mean, he's not busy at
well.
all.
No, well,
right?
I was gonna. Albert was just terrible to me this week.
No.
Because yeah. He was like, it would be better to skip 2 weeks, and me being like the responsible and the like really the leader of this podcast. I was like, no, we're not doing that. I will ask Kimon. So I asked you, and I said, like, can we do Wednesday? Yes, blah, blah, blah. Everything is all right. Then Albert was like, okay, I'll try and be there. I was like, I thought you couldn't do it. I was like, but okay, if you could make it, then that would be great. And then we'll have Kimon on, and maybe we'll do like a version 2 of the last episode we did with the 3 of us. That would be great. And he was like, oh, no, I can't do Wednesday because I'll be on another podcast. I was like, excuse you, sir.
Which podcast?
What do you mean?
How
you
is
want to
that
take
possible?
2 weeks of your own podcast to be a guest on another
Yeah, that doesn't work.
less desirable podcast?
Impossible.
And basically he forgot that he was on. And when I said Wednesday, he checked the schedule. And then he saw that he was scheduled for another
And
podcast.
you're not
I was
naming
like, are you
it?
cheating on us? It is, to be very honest, and I'm not going to make friends with this, but it is the German podcast that I don't know the name of.
63 HRC.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a drugs. But that one, yeah.
I immediately knew. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I hope he will shit on you in German and you will never.
I understand German. I just
no, that's a
refuse
lie.
to speak it. Oh, is that a lie?
I hope so.
It is when you're talking, like if I heard like both of you talking that in that gibbery German that you Austrians do, then yes, it's hard. But I think I can. I know what you guys are talking about.
But man,
let's just.
Regarding the schedule and all, if he doesn't have time for next week, then we will have Dan Prendergast on, and
that would be great.
Yeah, and then it's the 3 of us, and then we have an adult to watch over us as well because he's older than us.
Okay, but is he older? Like also not like you can be older, but not older in.
Yeah, mentally
being the responsible one.
Yeah,
yes. Do you know what I mean?
Mentally, he's the same age as us.
I feel like Albert is the most responsible one
for sure. Yeah.
Keith is like middle ground, and I'm just off the rails most of the time.
I would say that's the case. Yes.
Yeah, is that a correct assessment of my own podcast?
Yes, that is very correct. So. Although Keith is very, you never know with that guy.
Yeah, really, right? I think there's a lot more going on always with Keith. I've met him a few times and shit. He's.
I'm sure he's good at playing poker or something like that.
Right? You can never. Yeah, you can. We've been talking about. He wanted to. I'm just gonna fucking gaslight him right here. He wanted to do like a serious episode and talk about his past and shit, and we never did. And I think it's we should record that.
Oh fuck! I can be serious, as you've heard with Meerschot, so that would be.
Oh
that
yes,
would
you
be
can, and that was a great episode, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very interesting.
Quite a journey.
What a story, right? Imagine the fuck, yeah, man.
But
that's just insane.
I would be very curious to hear about Keith.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think he has quite the story, but everyone has. Like, if you not everyone has like a story like Meerschaert's or not to compare,
Yeah.
but if you ask the right questions and you treat it like a serious podcast, which people probably think that I can't do, but I think I can. Yeah, that would be great to have some serious episodes.
I think you guys should do that. I would be very curious. And I think Keith is interesting. Maybe he doesn't have a story like Meerschaert to that extent, but he's so mysterious in some ways. If you know him, especially, and he, like he looks.
But you could just tell he's been through some shit. I can tell. I just know. I don't know the details or whatever, but I just there's something there. So that could be very interesting.
Did he ever surf or something? I don't know how long he was in the US.
Surf?
Yeah. No, surf in the military.
I don't know. Isn't he too short for that?
Oh, motherfucker.
I thought that was very funny.
He isn't that short.
It's also terrible laughing about my own jokes. It's terrible.
No, but I thought since he's so serious sometimes and so or looking so serious, I don't know if he really is, but he's looking so serious. I don't know if he's just thinking or if he has flashbacks or something.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, totally.
We are gonna find out. I think we should have you on for that one as well. Damn it. Come on.
4 will be too much. I think you 3 guys will be best for that episode.
Well, you're the perfect substitute. I have some guests going over, Mr. Camone, so let's call it an episode.
Perfect. Then, wish you lots of fun.
Thank you. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
For the more time than on Faders podcast, which is great. And if we're one short, then the next time we will beat him.
Yeah, I wanted to say we don't know that yet. You have to count. Can you count?
I'll have someone do that. I don't like doing stuff myself. You know that.
True. I should have known.
Thanks, man.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
And to everyone that expecting now, outro music will be edited in by Albert. And bye-bye.
Bye.